Dun 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 dun. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I have my Joe. It's July 4th. Happy America Day, I suppose. Let's do this thing. I'm just kind of nervous. I'm always nervous before trials. But let's do it. Let's just jump headlong into it. That is pretty much how I play this game. Yes. Yes. January 8th. 9:46 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby. Numero uno. Maggie is always the first to come up in this episode, dude. I suppose she is the suspect here. My suspect. My client. My homegirl.
Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery.
Yeah, that's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
Huh? Yeah, of course. What do you mean?
I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes.
No. That wasn't doubt. That was, determination.
Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you, again.
Again. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. What's happening, bro? What's going on? Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Like, you know, just like a normal friend would do, right? You know, right? Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? His voice has changed over all 3 games, dude. I think it peaked in, like, the 2nd game. I had it, and I can't do it again. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? I don't know. Here, maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. That is the mystery bottle that was inside the other aromatherapy bottles, and frankly, I don't remember if we ever discovered what it was. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trabian's kitchen a couple of days ago. Where's the mod to have Maya wear that for all 3 games?
Wow, look at all these bottles.
Little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. It's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor.
Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others.
Well, what do you know? It doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. What gas or whatever can you not smell? That's kind of what that reminded me of real quick. You can't smell potassium cyanide, can you? I don't. Okay, whatever. Oh, we finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So? What is it? Is it poison?
Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Oh, it's Glenelg's medication. What? What? How did I not even think about that?
Wait, I could be completely wrong. Hold on, it's medication.
Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. Dude. Okay, wait. Wait, what does that mean then? I'm so confused. Okay, wait. We'll find out. You know what? Let's keep going. Gosh, that's how I play this. We just keep going. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum.
What was Glenn Elg's ear medication doing in the kitchen?
The victim's ear medicine found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. Can we get those checked really quick, please? Can we send that to the lab, expedited shipping? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Anything on that? English? Grammar? Pronunciation? Delivery? Oh, someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, they might have gotten something on the prints, but... It's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal. This is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Yes, energy, hi. Coffee, yes. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird again. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Haha. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Thank you. Yesterday, we heard the testimony from Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems.
The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. That is a new background. Okay, he was obviously... I don't know why he would be listening to the radio in his left ear. It's a ruptured eardrum. But at the same time, I know what he's listening to. He's listening to the lottery ticket thing. I don't know how that comes into play, though. Why would he be listening... Okay, whatever. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions in a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Tell me about it. We've been together for like 3 years. Like, you're not surprised?
Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. I'm gonna get this ready. Right off the bat. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, I got it ready.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Spitting facts. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent.
You what?
And today, I'll prove it.
Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. Phoenix, Jean Alexander, and Godot back to back to back. This is going to be one hell of an exercise for me. This is my demo, low-key. This is my demo. Companies, voice acting agencies, hit me up.
And you are? Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté!
And the judge. Forgive me for asking witness, but are you a woman?
Oh la la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am le pert and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur.
NANI?
Everything feels right.
This is so weird, bro. Never had this kind of ambiance in the courtroom. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Who is Godot, bro? I'm trying to figure that out. Doug Swallow. Come on, please let me be right about that. Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribulations.
Oui, volunteers.
Okay. Testimony time, testimony time. At Tribulations.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example.
Like having large mirrors between la tables. So those aren't just partitions, those are mirrors. Is that why Maggie claims that... Okay, stop. Don't jump ahead. Do not get ahead of yourself.
Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, none?
What? Let's say I'm sitting like this. If I'm looking directly this way, I can see the person. I don't have to look in the mirror, which is like slightly this way, right? Why are we just now hearing about this? Mirror?
Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror.
Why am I just now hearing about this? Where was that when we went to Tribulations for the first time? Well, to be fair, this was like a month ago.
And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
Shadow, I'm sorry, did you want to leave? That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. You need some coffee, Phoenix, come on. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. This is going to be hard, because frankly, I did not see this coming. You know? Here's what we're gonna do first. Okay. And who were the two... oh my god. And who were the 2 customers exactly?
Mas, of course, la young man who died, and la other, not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? That I immediately thought the mirrors. That's the reason why she claims she saw someone else. But at the same time, they would look completely identical. So she's not tripping. And, okay, I keep forgetting. Fact. During the opening of this entire episode, my double, my phony, is sitting there and he did the cyanide bay thing, okay? I can't forget about that. That's what I know as the player. I need to help Phoenix figure this out. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Okay. It's right here. Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. God, I can't read. Come on, focus, focus, focus. I remember I was experimenting. Yeah. You were experimenting Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? How come I never heard about anything you literally said in your testimony before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur?
Please stay on the topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorature? Decocture? No, Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course, that deco.
I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor.
Like having a large mirror between tables. Okay, yeah, you better go off. Okay, never mind. How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Buff. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high.
Let's see if 1 meter is about a yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge.
I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
Miles, none. But I decided not to go with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror? Yes, bro. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But...
Objection!
What?
You didn't ask, Trite. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
NANI?
A mirror was delivered to Tribulations the day before the incident.
For real?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. That's what I'm saying. Even if a mirror was delivered to Tribulations, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Wait, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at.
No, man. Normally, I'd expect some people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite. Even for you.
Huh?
Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it?
Where does that leave
the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite?
Not the hair.
I do not have a top knot.
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien, logic has one lady.
I do not know if this person is French or Italian, bro. I really do not. Okay. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse.
Hey, Nick, we should take a second and think about what old Seedy said in his testimony. How did he
phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Yeah, okay, you know what? If that is the case, Victor Kudo quite literally has to be telling the truth. He has to be. Because we determined that... But here's what's tripping me up. Even his damn picture has his specs worn on, you know, that side. But what I'm tripping about is that if I still have it, don't I? if Victor Kudo is sitting, I'll mark it, if he's sitting right here, and Glenn Elg is sitting right here, Victor Kudo has to turn 90 degrees in order to see him. What, he's gonna turn 45 degrees and see his reflection and think that he's sitting there when really he would see him 90 degrees anyway? Am I thinking too deep into this? If that's the case, bro, Glenn Elg is, I'm pointing like you can see, Glenn Elg is sitting here, Victor Kudo is sitting on the opposite end of the restaurant, and he sees his reflection and doesn't even think he's, you know, sitting on that side. I'm tripping. Okay, wait. Well, if he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. Okay, there's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. Hold on. She wouldn't say that if Capcom did not want me looking at this. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. I completely forgot that's what that said. Okay, but wait. Wait. So where would the mirror have been? The partitions between the tables? God, this is annoying. Hold on. Let me press this again. How big of a mirror are we talking about? Buff. I was intending to install it on the ceiling. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim. Okay. Let me press again this. Normally I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a mirror. Normally? Yeah, haha, lame. Huh? You're trying to imply, yeah. Ah, not the hair. No. Everything? Yeah, he would have seen reverse. We. Hold on. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse. Known? That low-key was a guess. That was low-key a guess. We have evidence. The cup. He picked it up with his right hand. Okay? Like, all the pictures, every picture I have seen of this man, he has it over his left eye. It's not all of a sudden going to change just because we figured out that it was in reverse. No, like, it was on his left eye. Basil from Blue Screens Incorporated had that shit over her left eye, okay? You can't fool me. Coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So, to summarize. We were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactly. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so odd, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. if Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head?
Order. Order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over on his right eye.
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks?
You remember this, I presume?
The I broke the vase, sorry, apology. I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony.
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Ha. Well, Trite.
That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash.
Ha ha ha, good one, Maya.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant.
Is this a new testimony again? Holy shit. First one did not last so long. I've been recording for 30 minutes already. How does that happen? Okay, so the mirror. This is completely new. Like, we have not heard anything about this before, ever.
Hello, is everyone sitting comfortably? Okay, la mirror was... Why? Why?
That's why Victor Kudo couldn't see El Tigre, huh? Wait, what? I said El Tigre. Stop. Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time.
La mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, divided the two halves.
Oh my god.
There is only one seat from which you have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting.
What does W stand for? A witness? Bro, I thought Victor Kudo was sitting right here this whole time. What? Or would he have... Okay, just roll with it.
After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Okay, that last one is a bit suspicious. Naturally, I did not touch anything else. Yeah, they wouldn't have been talking about how John Armstrong was the only one in the restaurant that was conscious for like 5 minutes. Well, John Armstrong for sure took the ticket, man. He even told us that.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquet I am. Confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again.
I hate that guy.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteers, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
Ah, God. La mirror.
Always save at the start of cross-examination. Okay, wait. Let me really quick see if I have anything. Naturally, I did not touch anything else. Hold on. Oh, too early. Too early. Too early. Sorry. Too early. Okay, let's just press. Let's just press. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
We.
We?
For real?
Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Look who's talking, Trite.
Huh?
You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But this is my seat in the courtroom.
Trebian's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trite. I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was here in the middle of the restaurant.
Okay,
There is only one seat from which you have seen it.
right. And where would that be?
Oh la la! Look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, the court would tell the court what you know at once.
God, my eyes need to be, like, clasped open.
I attract the older ones too, you know. Handsome. I shall tease you too, no? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume.
What?
Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you have seen.
That was possibly the weirdest press I've ever done. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat?
Mas, monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at la plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in la mirror like this. If you were sitting at la table next to him, you would see everything, no? So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened.
The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? When they said next to the victim, bro, I thought they meant like across the restaurant next to it, not like next to